Thank you very much, Professor Alam. So our presentation today will be for nature-based solution for Sudan reconstruction, a roadmap for sustainability and resilience. I think all of us know what's the situation now in Sudan. So we will just, we follow the same trend which we have it in our chapter. So we start with introduction and then understanding what is nature-based solution. I would prefer to use the abbreviation NBS for nature-based solution. Why nature-based solution? Key nature-based solution, intervention and institutional policies, challenges for implication and for implementation, and then some success stories in Sudan. So for the introduction, why nature-based solutions? Actually, Sudan is grappling with severe environmental degradation, widespread poverty, and damaged infrastructure after the war. All of us, we know what happening now in the war area. So the conventional recovery efforts often ignore the environmental and social foundation of resilience. This is why we look for the nature-based solution. A nature-based solution, why nature-based solution? Because it offers a holistic approach. This holistic approach is by restoring degraded ecosystem, support livelihood and food security, and strengthening climate and disaster resilience, promote social cohesion and peace. And the final key message from our first slide, that nature-based solution link environmental recovery with sustainable peace, a critical foundation for Sudan long-term reconstruction. So this figure is just explaining or clarifying what are the nature-based solutions. Nature-based solutions have prime potential to help that to address global challenges. Global challenges is not for Sudan only, but for the global. That is climate change, economic and social development, human health, food and security, and water security, disaster risk reduction, blah, blah, blah. Okay, nature-based solution can provide long-term environmental, societal, and economic benefits. And this is what we need from the nature-based solution. And maybe the definition for nature-based solution as by the IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, that action to address societal challenges through the protection, sustainable management, and restoration of ecosystem, benefiting both biodiversity and human well-being. And I think the previous presenter, they have giving the highlight on biodiversity loss and the impacts on biodiversity. So nature-based solution can provide long-term environmental and social and economic efforts by adaptation to climate change. And we'll see green jobs, clean air and water, disaster risk reduction, community resilience, health benefits, etc. So and more clarification is that example for nature-based solution. These are examples, but it's not limited to. The sample for the nature-based solution application and in protection of restoration of coastal ecosystem, protection, restoration, and sustainable use of forest landscape. Usually, forest is the mother of the fundamental element of the nature-based solution: protection, restoration, and management of wetlands, providing space for rivers, and so many other applications. Even the traditional medicines we use in Sudan are nature-based solutions. So time and is not, we are just giving examples, but these examples are representative and not limited to. So here we have some examples of what nature-based solution projects in Sudan. The 4 photos are just for some projects in sub-Saharan Africa, and the other is by UNEP in Sudan. The project by UNIP in Sudan is among smallholder rain-fed farmers and pastoralists. The project abbreviated as SRFB in the White Nile States. This is a good example for nature-based solutions interventions in Sudan. Understanding nature-based solution. Nature-based solution approaches are approaches that protect, sustainable, manage, and restore natural or modified ecosystem as we defined by IUCN. The primary goals, they aim to address major societal challenges, including climate change, mitigation and adaptation, food security, water management, disaster risk reduction, and then the co-benefits of nature-based solution. It enhances biodiversity by preserving habitats and ecosystem. I think from the last presentation, the biodiversity, I think there is some cross-sectoral with our presentation now, which we are running. Improving resilience of communities and ecosystem to shocks and stress. All these are the co-benefits of nature-based solution. Also, it play a role in supporting inclusive and sustainable development, ensuring benefit for all. This is a sample for two publications from UN agencies about the nature-based solutions. One for peace, this is by UNEP, and the second one by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, about strengthening the coherence between forestry and social protection for sustainable agri-food system transformation. And as I mentioned, forestry is a core component of nature-based solution. My co-author, Professor Yahia, will also give some highlight. He's a professor of forestry and a full professor of forestry and livelihood. Why nature-based solution? Actually, Sudan ecosystem are under pressure. This is because of deforestation, as you see in the image, land degradation, water scarcity, soil erosion, and are widespread, threatening both biodiversity and livelihood. Deforestation maybe is one of the challenges now we are facing, especially during the war time, because the people, they lack the gas, they lack many sources for energy, so they used to cut trees and forests for burning for food and others purposes. So Sudan ecosystem are fragile because of deforestation, water scarcity, erosion, etc. Communities also rely mainly on nature. A large portion of the population depend directly on natural resources for farming, grazing, and energy. So this is why now we come to nature-based solution as a pathway to recovery and peace by restoring degraded land, protecting watershed, enhancing natural resilience. Also, it can rebuild natural capital, support for livelihood, and reduce environmental drivers of conflict. Key nature-based interventions. For ecosystem, we have maybe 3-4 interventions. For ecosystem restoration, we have reforestation, wetland and rangeland restoration, sustainable agriculture. Sustainable agriculture, actually, it's represented by agroforestry. This integrating trees with crops and livestock system to enhance productivity. Also, we used to have drought-resilient crops, promoting crop varieties that withstand climate stress and ensure food security. Also, we have urban nature-based solution, this urban greening, planting trees, creating parks, and expanding green spaces to cool cities. And I think I will give, at the end, I will give a short video for 2 minutes to explain the concept very clear. Institutional policy framework, the existing, I mean the existing institutional policy framework the existing foundation, Sudan has developed several climate change and environmental protection policies. However, implementation is often fragmented and inconsistent across the sectors and regions. So the diverse stakeholder, multiple actors are involved in environmental and climate-related efforts, including government ministries, international donors and development agencies, local and international NGOs, and community-based organizations or CBOs. The key challenges we need, or the key challenges is manifested by the overlapping mandates of the different ministries and the weak coordination between the ministries and lack of integrated planning for nature-based approaches. Also, one of the major challenges is the limited capacity for cross-sectoral collaboration. So we urgently need a harmonized national strategy for nature-based solution. This, I think we need a multi-dimensional strategy that bridges the gap between the finance, the governance, and the cross-sector collaboration and the community inclusion. So we need to mainstreaming nature-based solution into national development, climate, and peace-building agenda. Strategic pathways forward, hence I think we came to what we are looking for. We need to develop a national nature-based solution strategy. And as mentioned in the previous slide, we need a multidimensional strategy. We need to mobilize climate finance and international support. We need to strengthen local capacity and institutions. Also, we need to enable community-led action because community is the core. The success of the MBS depends mainly on the community-led action. This figure or diagram maybe explain the strategic pathways forward, and it can be from bottom up and then the reverse, bottom up to represent the engagement, and then from up down is for the leadership. Then we came to the success stories for reforestation in Sudan. We have a project funded by or financed by the GCF. GCF is a Green Climate Fund. It's one of the instrumental finance by the UNFCCC, the United Nations Convention on Climate Change. The project being in period of 2021 to 2024. It maybe ended after the war. The project in an area of 3,500 hectares in Kas, South Darfur. The project creates 650 jobs, a strong women and youth participation. And because of the success of the project, the model is being scaled to other states, Central Darfur, with the GCF support, the Green Climate Fund support. This photo gives the good reflection or the image of the project. This is the area before, and this is the area after in Kas. And the project already aligned with several sustainable development goals. Say, for example, we have SDG 13, climate action, and SDG 15, life on land, and SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. And SDG 5 is the most important for gender equality because the project involved both women and the youth in the project. And SDG number 1, no poverty, because community have improved livelihood. And we have partnership for goals SDG 17 because the project is is being model scale up with the Green Climate Fund. Support shows strong international collaboration. Then we have something related to what Dr. Izzat is saying, is that the bioremediation in Sudan oil fields. Maybe I have been having a comment for Dr. Izzat that to make use of the produced water, it should be after the bioremediation. Then now this bioremediation in Sudan oil field is a good example or a success story for the nature-based solutions, because we used to have nature-based solution for the huge amount of the produced water in the oil fields. For example, maybe we hear that for each oil barrel, we have 8 produced water barrel. This now is a bioremediation pond. They use native grasses for clearing the water, but not to be used as a drinking water, but to be used for irrigation for forests and, say, for example, Jatrova and other. The left side image is for oil spills in soil, and also they use some types of bacteria and cow dung to clear the soil by process of bioremediation to restore polluted soil and water using biological processes, microbial degradation, and phytoremediation. And this icon is better explaining how nature-based solution is working. So, and finally, the soil will be ready for cropping, and you see the community now, they are planting planting trees. After clearing the soil, we can use normal water for irrigation, and then the soil is okay for cropping any other edible crops. Finally, we came to the policy recommendation, and our policy recommendations lie into 3 areas of domains. We have institutional framework by establishing a national nature-based solution task force to coordinate nature-based solution planning and implementation and cross-sector integration. Also to update environmental and land use laws. This all under the domain for institution framework. Then we came to the other domain, finance and partnership. Also, we need to strengthen readiness for GCF and GEF support. GEF is a global environment facility support to build institutional capacity to access climate finance, and this is a big issue for Sudan. Third is the capacity building and innovation, and this can be by launching vocational and nature-based solution training program to equip youth and communities with skills for ecosystem restoration, green jobs, and project management. Finally, we need to fund and scale pilot nature-based solution project. This will, by demonstrating impact and relief, refine scalable models in different ecological zones. Also, I just put this diagram to show the policy recommendation as mentioned in the previous slides. Then we came to a short video, it's just 1 or 2 minutes, about nature-based solution, how we put nature to work. I hope you enjoy this 1 or 2 minutes with this video.
Wow, our communities are growing. There are more hard surfaces like roads, buildings, and parking lots, and there are so few green spaces left. Our climate is becoming wilder and wetter. All those hard surfaces, where will the water go? How will people protect their homes and businesses? Here's a solution. They've created a wetland. It's soaking up the rainwater like a sponge. no. The storm has washed away soil from along the exposed stream bank in this farmer's field. When soil washes into our streams, it carries pollutants with it and muddies the water, making it hard for fish and other freshwater creatures to live. The farmer looks concerned. He's calling for help. How clever! He's planted trees and shrubs to hold the soil in place and filter the rainwater runoff. This natural buffer is nature's water treatment plant. Ah, here comes the sun. Whew, it's getting really hot. Our climate keeps getting warmer. Looks like that man is really feeling the heat. How can he make his yard cooler? Yes, trees and forests. They provide cooling shade. They're nature's air conditioner. This is nature at work. Cooling our cities, our air and water, protecting our homes and livelihoods. Put nature to work in your community. Plant it, protect it, enjoy it.
Finally, we came to conclusion. Nature-based solutions are vital for rebuilding peace, livelihood, and ecosystem in post-conflict Sudan. They directly support the Sustainable Development Goals, address climate challenges, and promote long-term stability. So it's time for call to action. It's time to scale up nature-based solution, moving from isolated pilot projects to a core pillar of national reconstruction efforts. And our final message is that nature-based solutions are not optional. They are essential for Sudan's sustainable and peaceful future. Thank you very much.
شكرا جزيلا يا دكتور. Thank you very much يا دكتور. Of course thank you also to your co-author because you are Professor يحيى آدم. يحيى نديك بروفيسور دقيقة كده أو بس تعرف نفسك لأنه هلاقي البرزنتيشن خلص لكن برضه الناس يعرفوك أنت الكو-author. اتفضل يا بروفيسور. اعمل ميوت يا بروفيسور.
بروف يحيى خليك ميوت.
يحيى انت ميوت. اعمل ميوت. اعمل ميوت. ايوه اتفضل.
Hello everyone. This is Yahya Umar Adam. I am a forester by professional, and I did my PhD here in Germany, where I am now involved in projects that dealing with sustainable food system. And just I want to add some models that traditionally implemented in Sudan as a nature-based solution. When you just see the traditional agroforestry system in the Gum Arabic Belt, where acacia, sayal, Senegal, and crops planted, that is a traditional nature-based solution. And I think that system was very successful, producing gum, supporting the economic and socio-economic aspect of the family, and at the same time conserving the soil and enriching the soil with nutrients. That is a good example. And I think rehabilitation of nature-based solution related to Gum Arabic Belt is very important, because that is our willing to do that as soon as possible to serve our climate, and at the same time to develop the socio-economic aspect of the rural community in GAM Arabic build. That is what I want to add.
Thank you very much. Thank you.